What is your greatest desire in life? Is it for success and recognition, for comfort and ease, a long life and good health? Or is it your heart's desire for God's peace, a knowledge of Him, and the salvation of your family and friends? Well, the psalmist tells us how our heart's desire can be fulfilled. And today's email seeks a little more explanation about this. So the viewer writes, Psalm 37 says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." I think I know what my heart's desire is, but I'm not sure how to delight myself in the Lord. Also, if I'm fully delighting in God, will my heart's desire somehow change? Well, God's promise is very clear in Psalm 37 when He says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, He will give you the desires of your heart." Now, the first question is this: is your desire the will of God? He doesn't just promise to give anything. Delight yourself in the Lord, He will give you the desires of your heart. But the desires of your heart must be in keeping with His plan, His purpose, and His will for your life. If that's not true, then you're praying in vain. And let me tell you why. God loves you too much to give you something that is not good for you. Now, you in your own determination can reach out and make something happen. But if it's not of God, it's not going to work. It's not going to please you. It's not going to satisfy you at all. Now, when you ask the question, well, what do you mean, delight myself? Well, that's His requirement. Listen to what He says. Delight yourself in the Lord, He'll give you the desires of your heart. If you delight yourself in the Lord, here's what that means. That means to be pleased with Him, to experience great pleasure and joy in knowing Him, to take pleasure in obeying and trusting Him, talking to Him in prayer, listening to Him, developing an intimacy with Him. Guard and cultivate that relationship. What it says is that you're committed to His will. And if all those things be true, then what you're doing is you're delighting yourself in Him. And notice, none of that had to do with what you desire. It has to do with the fact of your relationship to Him. When that's right, God will grant you the desires of your heart. When that desire is in keeping with His will, His timing, His purpose, and His plan for your life. What does that require? It requires that you and I surrender our life to Him. If you want God to give you His best, you must surrender yourself to Him in such a fashion that He then can grant you the best, the desires of your heart, His will and purpose for your life. Well, thank you for joining us for this broadcast of In Touch. An awareness of God's presence energizes us for everything we do. So grow close to Him and then watch Him work.